Hey, what's up guys? ScrewDog77 here, and we're back again, but for something a little bit different this time. Back again to do something, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but anyway. Thursday, this week, a couple days ago, on the 10th, a bunch of new Ratchet and Clank trailers came out, and so I decided that instead of taking time to record, which I am still gonna do, because I fucked up this week again, and probably gonna fuck up next week, but I'll definitely get some more, I'll get Primal out, definitely, but anyway. I wanted to take the time to do a trailer analysis for each of the new trailers that have come out on Thursday. So we got 6 new trailers that came out, and 3 from IGN and 3 from Insomniac Games, and one of them got taken down. One of IGN's trailers, it was like the opening of the game. And I might talk about it after we do 2 in this video. I'm going to do the 2 IGN ones in this one, then I'll do the 3 Insomniac trailers in this one. And I'm just going to play the trailer, and I'm going to pause it and edit it together so you can see what I'm talking about while we're going through the trailer. And in the IGN one, in this first one, that we're going to go off the big one that came out first, there's some IGN employee talking over it or whatever, mispronouncing shit, so I'm just going to not, like, have audio for this guy. I'm just going to go through the trailer, have some music going on in the background or something. Unless I need to, like, make cutscenes apparent, because there are some times where this dude stops talking and then cutscene dialogue plays. So anyway, I'm gonna start the trailer. So the first thing we see is one of the scenes from a previous trailer where Ratchet and Clank, there's like a giant fucking explosion in the background on Kerwan, and Ratchet and Clank are like jumping off, but we get to see a little extended part of that this time around where they like hit a train and then hit the grass, and then Jose or Tiro, that I guess, whatever, he starts talking. Then we see Ratchet turning a bolt crank on the train, we've seen that, and then we see some new footage right after that. Now, if you pause it, right when it first comes up, you see Ratchet is fighting sand sharks on what appears to be Iridia, which we find out later in the trailer. This dude mispronounces it, but he's close enough, so I know he's talking about Iridia. And we can see there's a little sidebar thing that says sand sharks left, so it's sort of telling us that there's going to be a similar mission to the one in the first game, where you had to defeat a bunch of sand sharks for Skid to get his hoverboard. And if we keep playing the trailer just a little bit further, we get to see another new scene of Victor Von Ion, played by Sylvester Stallone, I believe that's the correct actor for that. And he's chasing Clank down a sort of pathway where you're running away from him, and he's shooting a negotiator at you. And so now we've seen the negotiator in almost every trailer. Maybe not every trailer, but we've seen the negotiator in a lot of trailers. I still think that we're going to kill this guy and get it from him. I hope that's what happens. We get to kill him and get the negotiator. And I have a little bit of a theory on this scene right here where he's chasing Clank. I'm thinking that occurs in between some of the screenshots we got of daytime Veldin, where Ratchet's doing tryouts for the Galactic Rangers. And then in between the PSX trailer we got back in December, where it's the first Veldin trailer where he meets Clank. I want to say this happens in between, and this is Clank trying to escape Quartu, or wherever he's at now. This could be Planet Quartu, but I haven't written it off as Quartu yet, because I still don't know. Now, there's not enough to tell if it's Quartu or if they put him on a different planet, maybe Orxon. Probably not Orxon, because it's not green or shit, but I was thinking it might be Veldin too, because in a previous trailer we saw Victor Von Ion shoot Clank's ship, I think, with a negotiator, one of the first movie trailers. And it sort of looked like he shot him while he was still on the planet's surface, so he probably couldn't get out in the atmosphere and probably crashed somewhere on that same planet, which could be Veldin. They could have the facility on Veldin just to eliminate Quartu altogether. But anyway, with the rest of the trailer, we get to see some ship combat, and it looks like Ratchet is fighting a giant warship, which in one of the other new trailers we got, we will see that is the case, and he's using a magnet or a tether to shoot ships. He's not ships, picking up enemies and throwing them at that ship. And it's got a little cool health bar just like the regular bosses. We cut away, you know what, hold on. Let's look at this on the side. We can see there's a sidebar with all the controls for ship. We've got boost, barrel roll, it's a little too bright to see what that other text is, but I'm pretty sure one says machine gun or something. And use magnet is triangle. So I'm thinking this is very similar to Going Commando ship fighting, because it's sort of you're in a hub, just like in the Going Commando flight sequences. And you've got boost, and you've got the regular shooting. I think L2 is probably rockets or something, or fire missiles, I think is what that might say. And then the magnet is similar to the tether in A Crack in Time. But we don't see too much of that here. I'll talk more about that in the in one of the other trailers that Insomniac put up. But then we cut back to where it looks like on Iridia, and they've really done something new with the design of the those things that spit out more sand sharks. It looks really beautiful, really nice here. And you see, this is probably the beginning of that area. You got 57 sand sharks left. Move on, it shows Ratchet swimming through a sewer with the hydro pack. And on the side, you can see that we've got, again, controls on the side. I don't know if this is for demo or if this will always be on the screen. This is probably just for IGN demos or whatever that they get. But controls the same for surface and dives. But as you can see, there's like a an air meter, so Ratchet doesn't quite have the O2 mask at this point, if he gets it at all. Because as we go through that, it's very brief. We'll see it again later in the trailer, but it goes from like 82 to like 77 or 76. And then it immediately cuts to some wall jumping, which I don't think we've seen in any trailer. And it looks like the course you have to go to on Kerwan to get the swing shot, which is pretty neat. I'm pretty sure in my Let's Play I said that I assumed that just wasn't going to be in the game. This might be like a ranger training course, because another cutscene shows some shit. It's kind of hard to... I have all this knowledge of the other trailers, seeing this one, but in this one you see him doing some wall jumping, that's pretty neat. And then you also see a quirk bot in the back that, like, told you about doing the course. And this isn't the first time we've seen one, actually. We saw it in a screenshot on Veldin, just chilling around. And then it cuts to a swing. Ratchet is swinging up onto a platform where boxes are, like, in the same exact place they were on Iridia back in the original game. I'm pretty sure the boxes were just like that. And it says, locate the gadget inside the McMurk's Sports Shack, which, as you remember, on Iridia, which now, this is not the facility that was on Iridia, like the weird construction thing that we didn't really get any background on, the Outpost 11, is now the McMurk's Sports Shack, which is pretty cool. And we're gonna get a gadget here, and as you remember, we got the Trespasser here, but we'll see later that that's not what we get here. We get a different gadget here, which is pretty neato. Anyway, Ratchet comes down here, breaks some boxes, we see him fighting some guys with the combustor, and then back on Kerwan with the pixelizer, shooting some goons, and then we see, like, I guess a cutscene where Ratchet, Clank, and the plumber are chilling by Ratchet's broken original ship. And this is actually taking place on Novalis, so we're finally getting to see some new Novalis gameplay. Then we see, very briefly, we see Ratchet shooting some helicopter guys on the train with the combustor. But what comes next is probably the most interesting thing so far. Well, Iridia is pretty interesting. But it shows the first scene of space we see, actually. It shows Ratchet and Clank in their ship, and just one of the casual saucer dudes from Poketaru in the original games just show up and shoots the shit out of them. And they're in space, and this is the only thing we've seen of space so far. And it's the only thing we're gonna see in all these new trailers. That's all we see, I'm pretty sure. Ratchet flips upside down, and then the dude stops talking, the IGN guy stops talking, and Ratchet says some funny line that I'll probably play right now.
If we were in any real danger.
And then it shows Ratchet and Clank like crash towards Novalis, which we find out is Novalis, because that scene at the beginning of the trailer that we've seen before is not them crashing. They do not crash. We'll see that in another trailer that I'll upload after this. And then we see Ratchet do some weird shit with his hands and like punching like a weirdo, because he doesn't even fucking use melee combat with his fist, but whatever. And then we see a scene of Novalis where the little birds that fly around, or whatever the fuck they are being disillusioned by a Groovatron. And then we see another scene of the train that we've already seen in the first Kerwan trailer way back when. And then we're on Rilgar in a very familiar place, where the first taxi cab takes you on that planet in the original game, where the Rhino salesman is. And we see him use the pixelizer on some amoeboids, and then it cuts to a scene we already saw in a previous trailer where Clank's ship crashes that he steals or whatever from Victor Von Ion, I guess, and Ratchet pulls him out just like that. And then we cut back to that same section on Rilgar where Ratchet's fighting a tank in a very similar, it's very reminiscent of the scene in the original game, but they don't pan over to where the Rhino salesman was originally standing, so we have no idea if he's still, like, hanging around there. I doubt it. But Ratchet's using the the fusion bomb here. And then we finally get to see a ton of hoverboarding stuff. So, I'll play the footage in like a loop, but I'm gonna pause it myself. And in the sidebar, we see there is a boost gauge at the very top of the bar, and it looks like you've got 3 sections to hold your boost. I'm not sure if that's because of what the fuck was that thing called in Ratchet and Clank 1? The Platinum Zoomerator. That's what gave you the ability to harness boost in tricks. And as we can see, there is a trick in air thing under laps and under position. So it gives you your position, gives you your lap you're on, then there's tricks, and then there's accelerate. So I guess, like, in the original game, you just sort of went with it. It was kind of slow and shitty a little bit, just saying. We're on Rilgar still, obviously. But, you know, you see the boost, and then you see jump, so I guess now there is the standard speed, which is probably similar to the speed in the original game or something, and then there's accelerate, which makes you go faster. I don't know if there's a reason for you not to be pressing it, like there's tight turns that you need to not be accelerating to take. But, in this scene, we also see Ratchet, like, jump through one of the rings. Now, in the original game, when Ratchet hit the ring, he would just boost. But as we see here, he actually gains boost in his meter when he hits those rings. And so that's really neat this time around, because now you can pick where you choose to boost. So that's pretty cool. We don't see any, Devastator rockets hanging around on the track, I don't think, here. But, of course, we didn't in the original game. Those only appeared on Kalibo 3's hoverboard race. The next scene after this is still on the train, something we've already seen. Now we're back on Kirwan, and we're on, like, a bridge area. I don't think we saw this in the first Kirwan on-foot trailer, but it's just Ratchet shooting at a dude, a helicopter blarg. And then we see another quick scene of the hoverboard race. Then we see Veldin, which we've already seen. Swing shot targets are still hanging around. Now, I'm trying to see what this says. Does it just say defend the planet? We're on Novalis now. And it says, oh, defend the planes? Is that what that says? I have no idea. It goes by so quick. But, you're clearly on Novalis fighting the same dudes we fought in the original game, which is really sweet. We see a little bit more of it later, but we can see, if we pause at a certain point, there's one of the rocket dudes that shoot the little orbs that don't know how to, like, change their aim after they've started shooting. So, I don't know if they're still bad AI like that, but he's using the combustor again. And then we see another train. They really love this train. I can tell they worked really hard on Kirwan, because that's the planet they show us the most in all the trailers. Then we see what looks to be, we're back on Kirwan still. We're still on Kirwan, but it looks like the obstacle course that you take. So maybe Helga's going to be in this game and give you something at the end of this. Not the swing shot, because you're obviously using the swing shot here. And then it shows us a little bit more of Iridia, and we can see our ship over here, which is not the same ship, I don't think, as the one that was seen in the trailer where it got shot down. And then there's this panning shot where the dude actually says Iridia, and he says it Arita, and then he says Veladin, which those are not the correct pronunciations. It pans over, and if we pause it, like, right at a certain point, it kind of looks like we see one of Skid's race. It might be Skid, but, I don't know, it might just be a random dude over here. And then it cuts back to Veldin, which is the scene we've already seen where he's fighting the dropship. And then it shows us the sewer area from Rilgar again, so I guess we're still going through there. And it's pretty cool, but we see some of those fucking the piranha fish, whatever, scary things again. But then we get to see something really interesting, which is the Hydro Displacer is back, and it's still used for the same function. And I'm surprised. Now that, we'll see later where we're gonna get that, actually, so we already know where we're gonna get that. And I just think it's really interesting that they chose to bring that back, but I can tell from how they do this, because if you pause it, I'm trying to pause it right on the thing. Or does it not say it here? It might be somewhere else. I'm just an idiot, or whatever. But I don't think it's like an equipable gadget like in the original games up until a Kraken time, where you had to, well, not a Kraken time, up until, Tools of Destruction, where you had your gadgets and your quick select. This is more like the electrolyzer in Going Commando, where it's like an item, and just when you come up to a panel that it can be used at, just like press triangle and it does it for you. But anyway, we keep going, and we see Ratchet jumping around the water. We see that same cutscene from Veldin that we saw at the PSX trailer, where he's like talking to Clank about going to see the Black Rangers, and he's lying to him. What the fuck, man? And then we see Quark, and he's talking to a crowd. And then we see this, which is super happy, makes me super happy. Quark is in prison, and that is also what we saw in the trailer that was taken down, the opening of the game, where Quark is in prison, and he's like wanting to tell a story about what really happened, I guess. I don't know if he's lying the whole time, and so this whole game is like bullshit. I hope that's not the case. But I'm glad to see that Quark has done something terrible and is in prison for it now. Because I was afraid that he wasn't going to be a traitor, a filthy swine. I was afraid of that. But they would take that out of the game, but it looks like they didn't because he's in prison, and we find out later that he's telling these guys about the events of the game. And then we see the scene I was talking about earlier that I was saying occurred before the Clank being chased by Victor Von Ion scene, where he's like trying out to be a Galactic Ranger and fighting these robots. And then we see Ratchet and Cora talking real quick, and I don't even know what she says. Then we see, it looks like the beginning of the section we saw earlier, where like Clank is running, and then Victor Von Ion just busts through the fucking side of the wall, and he's chasing him with the Negotiator still. And then we get to see another underwater section, probably from the sewers on Rilgar, or it could be the sewers on Pukataro, I have no idea. But, he still has that air meter, so I'm wondering if we'll even get the O2 mask. I keep forgetting if it was already stated in the Poketaro trailer that we were gonna get it. Could just be a fucking idiot. But anyway, we see more sand shark fighting, and we see another good shot of the creature that spits them out that you have to destroy. It doesn't look like there's a sidebar for destroying those things, though, but it's like self-explanatory that you have to destroy them because they'll just keep bringing back more sand sharks. I'm gonna see, does it increase? Yeah. If you look, it starts off at 28, and then it jumps up to 32, so I guess it spat out 4 of them, or simultaneously they spit out a bunch of them. We see more of the train section that we've already seen, Ratchet climbing again, seeing the piranha fish, and then Ratchet and Clank are like getting up, they look at each other, and we see a little bit more cutscene with, I think her name is Cora, and then this scene over here on Rilgar, oh, not Rilgar, Iridia, where you see Ratchet use the fusion bomb to destroy a wall. I'm pretty sure that's the Gold Bolt area from Skid's portion of the level. Could be wrong. I could just be retarded. But we see more Kurwan, and then more of Iridia again. And then he's still fighting that tank, and then he's still shooting those blargs. So it's kind of like at the beginning of the trailer again, where we're seeing sort of similar shit. Then Ratchet points at a ship and it falls apart, just like in the PSX trailer. And then here's another interesting part. We see Ratchet swing shot up on the ground portion of Rilgar on the outside part. And he comes over to the vendor, and it's like press triangle to activate Gadgetron vendor. But then you could tell that they like edited part of this shit out. So we didn't get to see what the purchasing weapons look like in the vendor, but we do get to see the upgrade system, which is very similar to Into the Nexus, which is very similar to Tools of Destruction, where you use Raritanium to upgrade your weapons, make them stronger, give them new abilities. It seems almost identical to the upgrade system in Into the Nexus, but we did not get to see the rest of the vendor, and so I'm wondering if that green dude is still in there. I want him to be there, man. I really want him to be there. Also, we didn't see any new weapons in this trailer. They're like hiding it from us. We see the Combustor, the Fusion Grenade, and the Pyroster in the sidebar over here. But anyway, he's just talking about upgrading him. We come back, we see him using the Pixelizer on some dogs on Kurwan, Groovatron on the Amiiboids, which it's really nice to see all the old enemies having to dance. I don't know why, but it just feels so good. And then we get another cutscene where Ratchet's talking, and I'll put this audio through.
I've died and gone to nerd heaven.
And we'll actually see the rest of that cutscene in another trailer. But then we see another section where the water is clearly rising on Rilgar. And then we see Victor Von Ion use like a laser on Clank, like a blue laser. And I'm not sure if that's a weapon that I'm just forgetting. Probably not. It's probably just something that he has. Then we see from the PSX trailer, we see Ratchet fighting the dropship. Nothing new here, really. A barrel roll with the ship. I don't know if we've seen that. The interior of Novalis, and then one of the tops of the pillars in the Kurwan obstacle course, and then Quark talking to Ratchet. I'm just going through all the shit that I don't really think needs to be discussed in depth. We've already seen this screenshot where Ratchet is like reacting to all the people seeing him, and then that's the end of the trailer. That's the end of that one. So yeah, my thoughts on the trailer. It was really nice. We got enough new stuff to see in this trailer to make it hold up as like a really awesome trailer. But disappointed that we didn't get to see any new weapons. That's the only thing, because I'm keeping track of all the weapons we've gotten to see. Wish we'd gotten to see new ones. We're not going to see any new ones in any of the other 4 trailers, I guess, that I'm going to look at. But, yeah, it's something. It's pretty neat. I'm definitely interested in what, like, the swing shot course, the obstacle course on Kerwan's going to reward us with, or if it's going to reward us with anything. I'm interested to see what the plumber's doing. I think he's going to fix Ratchet's ship so he can get to Kerwan from Novalis, because he's still going to crash land on Novalis. That scene where he gets shot, and then he says some really dumb shit, I guess. He says, like, oh, my crappy ship would warn us if there was actually a problem with us, like, flipping over and getting shot in the back. I don't know. But, you know, there's a lot of good stuff to see here. I definitely like the information we got with the Rilgar, hoverboard race. That was cool. We didn't see any Battaglia, any, Kalibo 3. We didn't see any Blarg Station. That kind of surprised me, but I'm also happy that we didn't see any Poketaru. I don't think we saw any, unless those underwater sections, but that doesn't matter. That was new. We didn't see any Poketaru, we didn't see any Gas Bar, and we didn't see any, is there another planet that's already been revealed that we haven't seen any of in this trailer? I'm just glad we didn't see a lot of the planets, aside from Kerwan and Veldin, that already had their own trailers that went over a majority of their levels. But of course, a lot of Kerwan stuff was new, so that was exciting. But anyway, there's another trailer I'm going to cover in this one, which was the trailer that I cannot find. Give me a sec. Hey, what's up, guys? I found it. So the next trailer we're going to be looking at is the second trailer IGN put out. They didn't put any dialogue in this one. It's just pretty much a ton of scenes from Planet Rilgar. We see the Pyrocenter being used. There's not much going on here that I can really talk about. I'll pause it if I see anything new this time around, but he's using Pyrocenter, Pixelator, Fusion Bomb, and Combustor again, and it's just showing us a lot of the scenes from Rilgar, where he's fighting Amoeboids and fighting the waste control dudes, I guess. Is what I'm going to refer to them as. We see the underground section again, which is cool that they included that. Don't know really why. Probably because it's going to be like a scene-for-scene remake of Planet Rilgar, it looks like. Though, of course, we have to remember that the plot of the game was like looking for Quark at this point still, so I don't know what the reason is for being on Rilgar. Maybe we're here to like stop the invasion and catch some hoverboarding along the way. We actually see a scene of Novalis that I didn't remember that was in here. This might also be a Novalis trailer. I don't know, I just mostly wrote it off as Rilgar. But we see him fighting the, let me see Veldin. I'm just an idiot, I guess. I thought it was all Rilgar. We jump back to Rilgar after the Veldin little piece right there where he was fighting the dropship again. He's still using the Combustor. Now we're on Kerwan, pixelizing the buff Blarg dudes. And then we're back in that area on, Rilgar where the laser gates are all up, and you just kind of, like, open them up. Hit the panels, and it opens up one of the random doors. Not sure if that's how it works here, because he didn't hit the button or anything. We see him fighting some guys with the wrench, which, if you've seen my Going Commando Let's Play, is always a bad idea to fight enemies with the wrench in a game where weapons are upgradable. And he keeps doing it. I don't know why he's doing it. He's making me hurt because he could be upgrading his weapons. What an idiot. I don't know. He's just swinging around too, but that's not much to it. There wasn't much to it, but I just wanted to show it off and just briefly touch on it. No reason to pause or anything in there. It was really neat. It was a neato trailer. But anyway, that's all I really have to say about this one. And fuck, that was 24 minutes long. Okay, I'll have to cut. I won't be able to cut anything. Everything I said was perfect. I'm sorry. But anyway, I will see you guys in the second video, like the part 2 to this big trailer apocalypse that happened on Thursday on the 10th. And I'll go over all those trailers. And I won't be pausing too much in those trailers either. I'll just be talking about stuff. So it's just pretty much my commentary on the trailers. But I'll see you guys in that video. And then I'll see you guys in Primal again, which I'll probably upload tomorrow, which is Sunday. I'll upload it Sunday, I think, just because I'm just fucked up and and everything. So anyway, see you guys